Hey, good morning. It's Friday, June 18th. Again, thanks so much for being here today. We're looking at my book here, Everyday Talk, and going through the chapters just to pick out some of the highlights. And since Father's Day is just a couple of days off, and this chapter is called Don't Be Ordinary, I want to specifically address this to fathers. It's totally cool if moms or kids or anybody else wants to listen in, because it's valuable material. But because of the proximity of Father's Day, I want to zero in on how this applies to fathers. The title of this chapter is Don't Be Ordinary. And the ordinary is not about, work performance or those kinds of things here. The ordinary is talking about don't be ordinary in the way that you respond to sin. You see, in this life, sin is a given, and we wind up being shocked when other people sin. We shouldn't be. We get hurt and offended. Dads, we get hurt and offended. How can you say this to me? That's disrespectful. I go to work. I do all these things for you. I'm so kind to you and so gracious. You have no idea. Compared to other dads and other things, I'm not going to accept this. See, that's ordinary kind of behavior. We need not to be shocked at sin. Jesus is the one who came to rescue us from sin. The fact that Jesus had to die for sin ought to tell us loudly and clearly that sin is a part of this life and that the only rescue from it, the only remedy from it, is being able to trust God. And what he's called you and me to do as fathers is not to be ordinary and get angry at sin, but to be extraordinary and present Christ when we're sinned against. Moses in the book of Numbers is a brilliant case study in what I'm talking about. After the children of Israel had been rescued from Egypt and Moses led them with the plagues, the Egyptian army is coming to get them and looks like they're totally wiped out. And God opens up the Red Sea. The Israelites all get through. The Egyptian army comes running in after them after being held back by the hand of God. They come running in after them. The waters rush over them, wipe out the army. And then the children of Israel now come forward. They send spies into the promised land, and the spies come back and report. The two good spies, Joshua and Caleb, the spies of faith, said, "It's just as the Lord has promised. It's a land flowing of milk and honey. It's ours for the taking. We just need to go get it." The 10 spies, the ordinary spies, said, "Excuse me, this land is full of people that are 9 feet tall, literally. They're professional killing machines. All we are is professional whiners. We have no chance." So they complain, and this is what they say. Quoting here from Numbers 14. "If only we had died in Egypt or in the desert. Why is the Lord bringing us to this land only to let us fall by the sword? Our wives and our children will be taken with us, taken as plunder. Wouldn't it be better for us to go back to Egypt?" And then they said to each other, "We should choose a leader and go back to Egypt." And part of that choosing a new leader was to stone Moses and Aaron. How's that for gratitude? The anger, you can feel the anger boiling up inside. And yet, God comes to Moses and says, "I'm done with these people." He's testing Moses. Let's start over again. Moses says, no. Notice what he says here. "Now may the Lord's strength be displayed, just as you have declared. The Lord is slow to anger and abounding in love, forgiving sin and rebellion. Yet he does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children for the sins of the fathers to the 3rd and 4th generation. In accordance with your great love, forgive the sin of these people, just as you have pardoned them from the time they have left Egypt until now." See, that is extraordinary. Moses did not allow himself to be dominated by anger. Did he have just cause? Yes, he did. Because the people acted horribly. But he remembered the faithfulness of God. God did not call him to be judge, jury, and executioner. God called Moses to be the extraordinary example of the mercy and love of God. When your children sin against you, and it's going to happen, stop being shocked at their sin, but be prepared for it. Be ready for it. Be grateful for it. You know why? I know somebody said, excuse me, have you lost a couple of screws up there? Being grateful for your children's sin? Yes, because you know why you should be grateful? Because it gives you an opportunity to show the mercy and love of Christ. Your anger at sin, human anger, is never justified. Never justified. There's a place for righteous anger, but it's typically not in parenting. Don't give in to anger. That makes you ordinary. Any dad can lose it. Any mom can lose it. Anyone can get angry. All being angry does is give you the right to be on Oprah. But it doesn't make you a parent who represents God well. You have been forgiven. God wasn't angry with you. Don't be angry with your children. Don't be an ordinary representative. Be an extraordinary representative of God. Be grateful when you see sin before you, because it gives you the opportunity to show the mercy and grace of God and the compassion of God. Dads, that's what God has called us to. Let's don't be ordinary fathers. Let's be extraordinary fathers who love Christ more than we love ourselves. We love Christ so much that we want to show the mercy of the gospel to our children, not in anger, but in love and compassion. And that's the thought for this morning. Check out our website, everydaytalk247.com. And Lord willing, we'll be here tonight. And I'm going to do another one on this tonight, just because it's really important. Again, thanks so much for being here. You have a great day. Bye-bye.